Now it's on. So here I am at night. So you know the backdrop is real. I have not done this at night, so I don't know how to make this brighter without making big. But let's see, this is me that like, it's like oblivion light now, which is not fun. Just aim it away. Does it go to like black and white? It looks weird. Cheap cameras, don't buy them. So I'm really only here because I wanted to talk about the concept of what's something that's always on my mind in this time in my life. It's called the wilderness years, and I'm not sure if you don't know what that is. I'm sure a lot of people don't. It's a time in a person's life where they become irrelevant. If they were relevant at some point and become socially, politically irrelevant before, I guess that you can call it making a comeback. Some people don't. I mean, you can call it the wilderness years if you have a comeback, I think. And the two most noted people that I know that, well, not personally, but in history, was Winston Churchill and Richard Nixon. With Winston Churchill, it was after World War One, and he didn't do well during World War One, at least in terms of advice. I think I'm not going to pull out my phone and do the research, but I believe there was the Battle of Dunkirk. Is that what he was involved in? See, I don't even know. See, I don't have my facts. I'm just getting to the point of what the whole thing is that he messed up. A lot of soldiers died, and they blamed him for a certain level of bad stuff. This is the extent of my vocabulary. So he became Winston Churchill was just like gone from political life, gone from society, kind of stayed at home for a long time, drinking and just writing stuff and just trying to get his mind and just to kind of like, I think he wrote his memoirs. He was just trying to like just chug along. He was just living his life, and it wasn't until World War II that he became back into the spotlight. He was a better man. He learned his lesson, and he was pretty much all but forgotten until World War II came around, and then he kind of, and obviously, well, if you don't know, he kind of roared back like a lion. He was adamant in fighting Hitler. Didn't like the guy at all from the start. Was there after its defeat, and he was working with Roosevelt and Stalin after that, when they were, I guess, carving up the world back then, after World War II, and then there was, and so then he's back in history, and whatever he did before that was, I can't say forgotten, but they kind of was like, but you could look it up on your own, and that's really just an abridged and not very good version of that. I'm just using an example. And then there was Nixon, Richard Nixon, who was vice president under Eisenhower. And, he was in political life for a very long time. And they thought, yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm next. Eisenhower was gone. And he ran for president against John Kennedy. And a lot of people thought that he was going to win. He was there. He was like he was expected, kind of. Like it's almost like Kamala Harris. She was VP. They pushed her up, to run. And a lot of George Bush, whatever. A couple of people in history. Yeah, even I think Gerald Ford, after he was president, they ran him again for president against Jimmy Carter. Point being is that he was vice president. John Kennedy won, and Nixon was mostly gone at that point. It's almost like an embarrassment. He tried to run for governor of California right after that, I think around 62, and he lost that. And then after that, he was done. He was like, I can't do this anymore. And people were just like, yo, dude, you got to go. You can't do this. And and so that he experienced his wilderness years until then. Then Kennedy gets shot. Then Johnson becomes president, and then in '68, Johnson decides that he doesn't want to be president anymore. He's not going to run again, or he doesn't want the job. So, because he became president after Kennedy's assassination, ran in '64 and won, but he didn't want to go and run again in '68. So it left the door open for Nixon to come through, and also Robert Kennedy. But then Robert Kennedy got shot and was killed. And so then Nixon becomes president after that. So everyone dismissed him. Everyone's just like, yo, you're gone. And no one, they were like, well, they even had articles like, it's like whatever happened to Richard Nixon. And then he got out of the wilderness years. And then he came back. And then you could look up what happened after that. Things were okay for a while, but then yeah. But yes, I feel like I'm in my wilderness years right now. My peers, the people I know, friends, and I feel like they're all doing much better than I am, excelling at their craft. They got the money, they got the sales, they got the ladies, and they got the attention. And, well, I have to say that I was relevant. Well, I think I was a little bit relevant, maybe this much relevancy, this much. I went to like this side. And right now, it's just kind of like trying to, weather through this wilderness. And I can't say it's easy. It's very cold. It's January anyway, but it's just cold in many different ways. That it's like you see like you had the sun shining on your face, and now it's like nighttime, and you don't know if that dawn is coming. No dawn is guaranteed, so who knows? So trudging through it, I kind of think onto them. I think about Churchill. I think about Nixon. I think about how they definitely did not think that the sun was ever going to shine again. And that might not be history's greatest examples, but people go through those times. I mean, not everyone. People can just succeed and just glom onto that success and keep going. They just ride that gravy train to oblivion, and then they're good. This is not guaranteed. This is not an artist's life, even in the typical sense. It's like things happen to people. They just can't ride it all the way through. I can't. The train stops and I have to get off. They're like, hey, your ticket doesn't go this far. You got to wait for the next train. So that's how it feels right now. You try not to be jealous. I don't want to be envious. I don't like it, but it's not a mature quality. But it feels like it's getting worse over time. And it's because it's like because you're grinding your gears. You feel older. It's like time is becoming less of your friend. And, you want things to happen. You want, come on, let's go. Kick that horse. Let's have it. Let's make it happen. Well, I would not recommend kicking a horse. It'll kick you back most likely. But, yeah, so just wanted to put that out there. Also wanted to, what is it? Is that a helicopter going by? Watch it whiz by. It's going to whiz by my head, I think. Look, it's going to go from this side. Over here. Hold on. Do you see it? There it is. Oh, helicopter. Bye-bye. Where you go? There it is, behind me. You know it's real back there. Okay, that's it.